the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
10-second to 10.
Hey.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade. Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. The Lions offense and Matthew Stafford ready to go here. Stafford still a solid quarterback in his 11th season now, but the Lions still yet to win a playoff game under his guidance. And last year's mark of 6-10, the worst since 2012 for the Lions.
Ready? 260!
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Running back Kerryon Johnson was drafted out of Auburn in the second round in 2018 to become the Detroit Lions' lead running back, something they haven't had in a long time. In fact, in 2018, he ran for over 100 yards in a game in September, the first Lions back over 100 yards since Reggie Bush on Thanksgiving Day in 2013. They're hoping that continues, and he'll be the three-down runner that they've been seeking.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. He'll get 3 up to midfield. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the 50 at Stafford. He's got Curse. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with McKissick. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
The poster child for late bloomers is wide receiver Adam Thielen. Well documented that he came out of football-powered Minnesota State to become a starting receiver in the NFL. Over 200 catches in the last 2 seasons. This is a young man who knows how to get open. And one of the things his college coach told me that really makes his game special, he has a great sense of awareness of where everyone is on the field. Every time he catches the ball, allows him to react and gain extra yardage.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cousins. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Cook following the penalty. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Well, look now at our starting defense. They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Better bring it. You better bring it. Gun. Right now, you better bring it.
3rd and long for Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Romeo Okwara providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Mike's by 4. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Gun. Check. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. The throw complete to Beebe. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing is Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Good route here.
On 3rd down, Cousins got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On first down at Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call, because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from Chile, Philadelphia. Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, no, easy.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
After the interception, here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jermaine Kearse, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On second down, Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Listen to me. Gun.
Play action now. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And now it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. We have hit halftime. Still, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of... The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's got a first out and more inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Mike Daniels make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a 1-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. They go play action here on first down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Marvin Jones, touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
That lady! Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Stafford. He completes it to Jones. Pushing tacklers aside. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They will run it. It's McKissick looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. That time a 6-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one's on Garrett Bradbury, the first center taken back in April's draft. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Hey, let's go. Call me crap. Not here. Here we go, 51, Mike. Mike 51. Gun. Keep it up, guys.
Now Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce and he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense got crowd to line.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a three-score game, though, fourth quarter. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins now from the 50. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Cousins to throw it. Going deep for Diggs. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Cousins now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them.
Now Cook, and boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. Broken tackle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
They run it with Breida, and he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Brings up second and a yard at the Vikings 35-yard line.
Again, it's Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A first down carry here for Johnson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Devon Kennard. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Most they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like